Gentlemen, a very nice outing by our Blue Devils. Before we get to it, we do have the American flag background on today. Just we wanted to shout out to all the veterans. I know
Mhm.
I worked with a lot of them myself when I was in business school. So thank you very much, everyone, for your service. Given that it is Veterans
Mhm.
Day, we'll keep the American
Absolutely.
flag background
Mhm.
on for
Thank
the
you, all of
show.
you.
All right, gentlemen. So we saw a very nice outing from our Blue Devils. Good continuation from the game on Kansas on Wednesday. Break it down for us here.
Go ahead, Justin.
All right. Well, so the big takeaways for me was a continuation of this absolutely smothering commitment to defense and high intensity, high energy defense. So many of our points against Kansas were coming off eventually off turnovers, but in this game, the same thing. It was defense leading to whether it be a fast break offense or getting a 3-on-1, a 3-on-2, and an easy bucket for us. And so Coach K has really already instilled in a young team. Yes, we have a little bit more upperclassmen this year, but a young, how important defense is, which is something that the past few years, I think all of us have been screaming for with our Duke teams is to commit ourselves to defense. And so another just smothering display by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I think we had like 26 or something points off of turnovers. I think they had like 18 or so turnovers. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think that defense turned into offense is definitely there. And kind of what was evident. I think we mentioned like last episode that like some players like relaxed or were nervous, or Cassius Stanley said that he relaxed when
Mm-hmm.
the defense energized him and turned it into the offense, and then that feeds even when you have to run half court sets. And I think that showed up today. I mean, Cash Stanley had an amazing game,
Mm-hmm.
and it was feeding from that defense, and it just adds so much more energy to the game because I mean you're just being tough, playing hard, and it just translates to the offensive end. So I really like that we were getting it done on both ends.
And it's something that's really great to see in the two games that we played so far. Yes, small sample size, but we've
Mhm.
caused already 46 turnovers between those two games.
46.
Right.
46. And when we look across the steals distribution, not all turnovers are going to be a steal
Mhm.
specifically, but every player has recorded at least zero point 0.5 steals, except for Buckmeyer, who only plays at the end of the game,
Hmm.
and Matthew Hurt. That's it. Everyone else has gotten at least zero point 0.5 steals or
Wow.
more,
Yeah.
or more.
That's
Wow.
great. Like everyone getting their hands involved and and just kind of creating like a swarm defense, kind of giving that feel too. And that makes other teams like, nervous and frustrated. Maybe they're doing a Sam Darnold and seeing ghosts out there that aren't even yeah. Yeah, so I definitely think it was great. And I mean I know it's it wasn't gonna happen for this early in the season, especially with the non-conference team. But sometimes having like a heavy hitter matchup on Tuesday and then having kind of like a weaker opponent on the Friday game, like that's typically what could be like a trap game. I mean, that's not
Mhm.
happening
Mm.
at like this stage of the season when it's like Kansas and a non-conference team. But I very much liked that there wasn't any kind of like residual hangover from the Kansas
Not
game
at
or any kind of like, oh, we were good enough to beat Kansas, we can kind of like coast through this one, and then maybe like a close first half, and then we ended up beating them by like 25 or something. But I
all.
like that we came out kind of full throttle, from the start and just kind of wore them down.
It was sort of close it was close through most of the first, and then we pulled away
Yeah.
late.
I
Uh,
think we were on like an 18-0 run across the
yeah.
last like 5-10
Right.
minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado State. I think they're a pretty young team. They have a pretty young coach too. I mean, they definitely came like we mentioned that they were coming in, determined to win. And they came. They also came out full throttle. Just they don't have as much in the tank or as nice of a car, if you will. But I mean, the what's his name, Carvacho,
Carvacho,
Nico.
yeah.
Carvacho?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he did fine. I mean, I think we handled him pretty well. But I mean, he's one of their better players. So only got like 12 points. So I mean, I think we did fine containing him, and there's just not as much on the rest of the team. But
Mhm.
yeah, so it just kind of warmed down, and then it's just a whole second half to kind of keep it up, and not let them get back in the game, which is what we did. So
Yeah,